Well, thanks, Ira, for being the guest today, taking the time. All right, so we had some data points today. The first data point that everybody's talking about, of course, is autos seem to be on a good clip, and we'll get the annualized rate shortly, but some pretty good numbers and also pretty decent numbers and revisions on factory orders. You could argue ISM floated above 50. What do you think about what's going on with the economy from the vantage point of manufacturing?
It's holding. It's not quite to where people have predicted, of course, with the lower cost energy, and then we hear about the jobs coming back from China. It's still out on that, but it certainly makes a lot of sense. And you know what? There's a tepid recovery going on. There's no question about it, which is why the Fed feels like they can pull back from the tapering. And I happen to think that that's what their plan is, because at least they get to remove some of this froth that they've created, but they realize that, and they're pulling it back, and I don't think that they mind really what's going on there. They have to step in and smooth it, but it's...
Now, let's look at the big three in terms of countries that export or deal in autos. We have the U.S., Japan, Germany. How do you think some of the past, current, maybe future movement of the cross trades, foreign exchange cross rates, is going to affect countries in a superficial way quickly? What do you think?
We've talked about this,
yes.
And Japan is definitely taking market share back from the Europeans. European auto sector is not in good shape. You can spin it all you want for me. It's not in good shape. Registrations domestically are down. And yes, Japan numbers were down domestically yesterday, but it's not. We're talking about the export market. The euro-yen movement has absolutely allowed Japan to recoup a lot of lost market share.
All right, we saw the unemployment rate, once again, moving up in the Eurozone as an aggregate. Thoughts there?
Yeah, you know what? With that are the non-performing loans. The European banks are in severe trouble. Again, there's a lot of spin going on. A lot of people looking for comforts. They're chasing some of that yield. I don't want any part of that yield. You want to chase Spanish?
Another big story with Europe, and it's usually not my wheelhouse, but it has to be now, are the issues with the NSA and, of course, the spying that's going on. It was big all weekend on TV and in the papers with regard to Germany not being happy. Does that affect our relations potentially with Germany or Europe?
You know, Rick, I'm not going to get into the politics of it because that's not where I choose to go. But from the global macro finance, it's important because I think you've dirtied the water with the Europeans at this point in time, and it takes the United States off what was previously a strong bargaining position, because don't forget it was back in April and May when Jack Lew was talking about pulling back austerity, and the United States is trying to get this trade deal done. Well, you know what? There's voices over there calling, well, slow down this horse, and I think this trade deal and I'm using President Obama's words, this was a big thing for their economic program going forward.
All right, I want to get so much from you real quickly. Gold. Ira and I have a reason there might be more upside than downside with gold. Real quickly. It's about China, the yuan, and gold. Tell us.
Yes, you know what? November 2nd, 2009, the IMF sold 200 tons of gold to India. The Chinese were not happy. And that price in dollar terms was 10.48. In yuan terms, it was 7,150 yuan, 2 ounce of gold, right, which is where it got to the other night.
You might want to buy gold. But real quickly, something happened on July 2nd, 1953. 60 years ago. It was this guy's birthday. Ira, happy 60th birthday from everybody at CNBC.
Thanks.
You're always everybody's favorite guest.
Thank you.
Carl, back to you.
Happy birthday to Ira, Rick. Thanks very much to you both.